You all are going to turn me into a Henry Cavill fangirl yet, I swear. Henry Cavill rumored to be in deep negotiations for a new Superman movie. Okay, we're going to get into this, and it is from our good friends over at Bounding Into Comics. Great people, great coverage. They have a YouTube, they have a Twitter, they have a Getter, they have a BitChute. They've got all of the things. You should go follow them on all of the things because they do incredible work. They really do. Now, rumors need to be taken with a grain of salt. Normally I don't do the rumor thing, but it's just with the train wreck that DC and Marvel have both been. It would be idiotic of DC to not do this. Print yourself money, DC. Do it. Do it now. Oh my God. All right, let's get into this. The Flash seriously has the potential to rewrite the DCEU we've come to know, but not all hope is lost. According to a new rumor, Henry Cavill is still vying to be in a new Superman movie, and it said the talk is deeper than ever. Source conveyed to Small Screen this week, it's still not the end of Cavill's Superman, wrote Small Screen's Edward Lauder. There are multiple projects they're discussing. Black Adam 2 is a big one. Cavill is still in the picture for that movie. Black Adam star Dwayne Johnson is allegedly Cavill's biggest supporter when it comes to staying in the Cape, which is fitting. They have the same management. That makes sense. It is also believed Johnson wants the slugfest between Black Adam and Superman more than anything, and he won't accept any substitutes for Cavill. Okay. Now this is making a little bit more sense because usually, here's the thing. I am not a Cavill fangirl by any means. I liked him as Superman. I thought he was given bad writing, bad script. I think he could have done so much justice to the role because the potential was there. The writing and directing just wasn't. And you all can hate me for that if you want to, for that opinion. But I've said this many times. I think that Snyder did a decent Batman. He doesn't know how to write Superman. He doesn't know how to direct Superman. He just doesn't. It's, for whatever reason, it's just not, true Superman is not Snyder's thing. He has to go with the Red Sun, nightmare, nihilistic timeline of Superman. And that's not what we want. And that's not what Cavill deserves. That's not what we as the audience deserve. And I will get into who I think should be directing a Superman trilogy. DC, I'm here to help you out. Please listen. AT&T, Warner Media. I know that you're trying to splice off and get rid of the CW and possibly DC Comics and whatever. Listen to me. If it's going to Discovery, I don't care. Somebody out there, if you are listening to this at all, print yourself money. Make Cavill's Superman trilogy and have Steve Barron direct it. And I will get more into Steve Barron in a moment. All right. And, quite frankly, when it comes to The Rock, it's basically The Rock playing himself in a movie. I like most of his films. I really do. I don't have a problem with a lot of his movies. They're usually funny. There's action. There's going to be one-liners, quips, and he'll probably do his eyebrow thing. And we'll see him with his shirt off so he can show how muscular he is. It's just kind of a Rock thing. Cavill, on the other hand, I've not seen him in everything he's ever been in. And if anything is going to turn me into a Cavill fan, I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's not The Witcher, and it's not Superman. I saw The Man from U.N.C.L.E. a couple years ago. Now, I think it was in 2020 when I watched it. And that movie is freaking fantastic. And he delivered. And I didn't see Henry Cavill. I saw, the character, if that makes sense. So I believed what was happening. I was able to suspend my disbelief. It didn't feel like Henry Cavill playing Henry Cavill, if you know what I mean. That's just my opinion. Honestly, it's hard for me to see Henry Cavill as any character besides the very French, very make-upped, very curly-haired young son of Edmond Dantes. in the Count of Monte Cristo. I've not, like I said, I've not seen everything that he's in, but that's really, he sold that role, but anytime I see him, I can't help but see him as in that particular role. It's not a bad thing necessarily, it's just, that's who comes to mind for his character. Like when people are like Henry Cavill, and I'm like, the kid from the Count of Monte Cristo? I'm just saying. So it'll be interesting because Cavill really does get into his roles and he tries to become the character so that you don't see Henry Cavill, you see the character that he's portraying. The Rock, it'll be interesting to see the two of them on screen together, because if The Rock is just playing The Rock with the name Black Adam and he's facing off against Superman, I'm not really sure how that's going to play. But if The Rock is going to be Black Adam and you can really buy into it, then I think that would be a heck of a slugfest for sure. But let's continue. He may come with a hefty price tag, though, and that is Cavill, not The Rock, even though I'm sure The Rock is not too inexpensive himself. Lauder explains there's an additional money issue to surmount wherein Cavill is asking for a bigger salary, as he should. The man is worth it. Are you ready for this? Look. Cavill's looking for an 8-figure salary for a solo Superman movie. Yes! Why was the man not making 8 figures before? What was the holdup there? How is Scarlett Johansson making an 8-figure salary and Henry Cavill isn't? Seriously. Like, I'm sorry. I realize that it's ScarJo and she is incredible, don't get me wrong, but she's not Henry Cavill. Like, how are you not what this says is, DC, you have gotten Henry Cavill at a discount at this point. And I'm not going to get further down the rabbit hole and into more rumors because this video will end up being 3 hours long and that's just insane. But essentially, if rumors are to be believed, Cavill still had 2.5 years left on his contract, which DC or Warner or whoever it was canceled. So Warner canceled the remaining 2.5 years on his contract. People lost their minds. People still wanted Cavill in the cape. Cavill himself has said he would be happy to put it back on. And now Warner's coming back to Cavill, and Cavill's like, okay, but this is what you're going to pay me because this is what I'm worth. I don't know if he got a new agent, or if his agent got smarter, or if he got smarter, or if they realized that he is actually worth an 8-figure salary. Whatever it is, I'm just glad that he's finally asking for it because, sir, you're definitely worth it. I have no clue why you were not being paid an 8-figure salary before. And for everybody who wants to stomp their feet and like pat and bang their chest or whatever, and they'll be like, oh, Man of Steel and BVS and Justice League didn't make $1 billion. That's because they weren't good movies. Not because Cavill wasn't worth it. It's because they weren't good movies. And I'm just being honest. Like, you can like those movies. That's fine. But the cast and the audience and everybody in between deserved a lot better. Now, I'm glad that Zack Snyder got his vision. I'm glad that Zack Snyder got his Justice League out there. But if we're going to be perfectly honest, the audience, DC fans, definitely got ripped off because you didn't get Cyborg's story, you didn't get Flash's story. You kind of got Aquaman's, but it did not blend seamlessly together. It was very anticlimactic, in my opinion, and quite frankly, Cavill was really good in those films. But the films themselves just weren't it. And yes, that could be because we went down the darker side, or the more nihilistic side, or the nightmare timeline, or whatever you want to call it. It didn't work. People don't want it. People are sick of the nihilism. Give them a good old-fashioned Superman heroic hero's journey trilogy. Just print your money. Okay? You will get return on your investment. If you want a trilogy that clears $4 billion between the 3 films, pay Cavill his money. Just do it. I don't even know what the argument at this point is. Really, I have no idea. Just pay the man. They added that it really can come down to money, and things are very much still up in the air. The claim jives well with remarks consistently made by Henry Cavill in interviews. Now, the interview is here in this Bounding article, which is linked in the description below. I have been having issues with my videos and streams getting manually reported for some reason, so I'm not going to play it here. But if you are a Cavill fan or you're curious about what he said, here's a little bit about it. As Cavill said on the topic to Washington Fox affiliate in an interview last month, "I'd love to play Superman again. It all depends. There are so many moving parts to that that it's just not down to my desire." So go check that out. Again, it's the Bounding article linked in the description below. Thankfully, Hollywood isn't done with him yet. In fact, he's busier than ever with The Witcher, Enola Holmes 2, the political thriller Argylle, and a Highlander movie in development. I'm extremely excited for the Highlander film. Highlander is one of my favorite IPs ever. There can only be one. I don't know if you are a Connor or a Duncan fan. I just know that I love Highlander and go Duncan MacLeod. Just saying. The Witcher, I'm not really going to touch that. That is kind of a tinderbox right now. I will say this much. I think it's great that the screenwriter, Lauren, had a productive conversation with the Quartering. And I think that anybody who is trying to shame either yourself or the Quartering for the two of you having a constructive and productive conversation should sit down and do some serious self-reflection as to what their actual problem is. Because civil conversation is how you find middle ground, and it's how we move forward. And anybody that is rejecting that, I don't care what side it's coming from, I don't care what angle it's coming from, I don't care who they claim to affiliate with or not. Whoever is doing it needs to cut it out, because you are being counterproductive to anything that you claim to care about. Enola Holmes 2, I really hope he's in it for more than 6 minutes. That's all I'm going to say there. And I have no idea what Argylle is about, but I'm sure that if you go to Anna That Star Wars Girl's Twitter or Insta or her YouTube, I'm sure she's got that covered. If you want all things Henry Cavill, fangirl or fandom, go check out Anna That Star Wars Girl. The fact that I am making an almost 20-minute video on Henry Cavill is truly shocking to me, but this just needed to be said. I'm sorry. I'm so fired up after Nerdrotic, Gary at Nerdrotic had his nooner today, and he was talking about stuff and reading stuff, and he was just making so many good points, and I was getting so angry from the idea that DC and Warner and AT&T are going to sit there and pretend that, or maybe they're not pretending, which is even more terrifying, that they have no idea where to go next or how to put butts in seats. You have Henry Cavill as Superman, and you had Ben Affleck as Batman. If you had treated them with a modicum of respect, you guys would be swimming in the dough. Oh my God. Warner Brothers isn't done with Superman either, between standalone story being produced by J.J. Abrams and the HBO Max miniseries about Val Zod with Michael B. Jordan behind it. Yeah. Our only wish is for these two facts to converge someday, with Discovery taking the wheel in the driver's seat at Warner fairly soon. Some see hope on the horizon. I don't know about that. I really don't. Discovery is a Disney affiliate. I think they might even be owned by Disney. I'm not entirely sure how that works. I just know that the two are very closely related, and we saw what Disney has done to Marvel. So, folks, don't hold your breath if that is the case. Let's just be 100% honest. So, who do I think should direct the Henry Cavill Superman trilogy? I'm glad you asked. This man right here. His name is Steve Barron. Who is Steve Barron, you may ask? Well, he is best known for Coneheads. You might have heard of it. Pretty great. Mike Bassett, The Jarrells. Look, he's done pretty recent stuff. But I think the thing that I really want to highlight, and I have done a nostalgia stream with My Nerdy Home and Tom from Midnight's Edge. We talked about TMNT 1990 and how fantastic it is and how it still holds up. The score, the script, The casting, the directing, all of it is just phenomenal. And it was done by this man right here, Steve Barron. Give this man a Superman trilogy with Henry Cavill, and you will print billions. He was on Donner's Superman. It's right here. He was the camera assistant on Richard Donner's Superman. He also did Richard Attenborough's A Bridge Too Far and Ridley Scott's The Duelist. The man knows what he's doing. He has already given us the best. Personally, my personal opinion, and you can all fight me on this if you want to, you're going to be wrong. TMNT 1990 is the best, and I mean this wholeheartedly, it is the best comic book adaptation I've ever seen. Ever. It still holds up to this day, 32 years later. I don't understand why you wouldn't do it. It just makes no sense not to. This is perhaps one of the best films, honestly, like action films that I can think of. There was the perfect amount of grit, of darkness, of brevity, wit. It was all there. Give this man the director's seat. Let him helm your Superman trilogy and put this man back in the cape. That's all I have to say about this. Thank you everybody for stopping by. Pay the man his money and get the return on your investment because it will come back tenfold. Thanks so much. Much love.